Hey everybody, today we're going to do a gentle yoga sequence on the mat. I'm outside again because it's a gorgeous day. And gentle yoga is great anytime, but I'm going to be doing a gentle yoga sequence especially suited for the hips. So we hold a lot of tension, a lot of emotion, believe it or not, is held in the hips. All the sitting that we're doing, maybe too much sitting at home because of C19, not sitting on an ergonomically correct chair, any of that stuff is going to interfere with your low back, your hips, feeling tightness, less flexibility. So we're going to work on that. So we're going to get started the way I would usually start a gentle yoga class, which is just with a guided meditation. So you can sit up, you can lie back, whatever feels comfortable to you. And we'll just start with the breath. So let's come to the breath. Let's sink into the present moment by gently breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. You can place a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. You can just lie back in Shavasana, bending your knees if you like. But just start breathing in deeply, in through the nose and out through the nose, really acquainting yourself with how your body feels right now. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Relax your bottom lashes away from your top lashes. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Open your third eye. Trust your intuition. Relax that space. Relax the muscles in your face. Let the bottom jaw drop away from the top jaw. The tongue rests behind the front teeth at the top. And just be aware of how your body feels the more deeply you breathe in and out through the nose. This is our tonifying breath, relaxing breath, inviting more relaxation to the body. Belly, ribs, chest. Chest, ribs, belly. Kidneys, back ribs, shoulder blades, back ribs, kidneys. Same thing. So you can do meditation at the beginning, at the end of practice. I usually start practice in meditation because we have a lot of usually pent-up tension before we get into the yoga studio, parking, doing all kinds of stuff. And it's a way to just set yourself up, empty the vessel. You are the vessel. Be empty and open for something good and new. So let's just take 3 purging breaths. Purging breath is releasing breath. Release what you don't need. So let's take 3 big breaths in through the nose, this time out through the mouth. Inhaling. Exhale out. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale out. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale out. And let's stretch out the length of your mat, guiding yourself all the way down. You can hold on to the back of your thighs. You can just come all the way back, crisscrossing at the ankles, and just begin circling the low back around. Circling the knees, holding on, pressing the low back into the mat, and checking in with your low back. Is there any hot spot back there? I have a hot spot that I've had since December. It's gotten better, then it's getting worse again. So I can always check in to notice, how is that feeling? Let's reverse those circles, moving in the other direction, or ovals. And then extending the left leg out long, bringing the right knee into the chest. So left leg goes long, right knee comes in, both feet are flexed, throat is open. So open the throat, shoulders are back and down. And let's switch sides. Right leg goes out, left leg comes in. Pressing through the heels. And let's bring both legs in at the same time, stretching them high to the sky, pressing through the heels. Let's take a cat stretch, reaching up, rounding the shoulder blades, opening in the back, tucking the chin under. You can hold onto your feet. You can reach towards your shins, whatever works for you. Allowing the back of your legs to get a little stretch here, but it's really about the spine. Cat stretch on your back. And let's release those shoulders down. And let's just pat down the back of the legs. Pat, 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 pat to the heels. And then on the inside, coming back in. Good. 2 more times. Pat, 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 pat. Inside. We're following the lines, the energy lines, the meridian lines in the body. Going down the back and up the inside. Okay, really nice. Let's make some nice circles with the ankles. So rotating out to the sides, right leg to right, left to left, then coming to the midline. And let's bend the knees over the hips so we get a 90-degree angle, and we're just going to start opening up like egg beaters. So again, just like the ankles were going to the sides, the knees, the hips are opening up to the side. So you can do gentle, you can do big. Just feel that opening up to the sides. We're just inviting the big muscle groups to get involved. And then reversing those circles. So out to the side, back to the center. Little core is getting involved here. We're all connected. It's all connected. So you can make littler circles. So it's hips, knees, and ankles are all going together. But we're leading with the hips. Nice, 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 nice. Let's bring both knees into the chest, nose to knee, coming to our egg pose. So balancing on your spine for a moment, tucking under, feeling that stretch, and then releasing that stretch, legs out long, arms out long, coming into your 5-pointed star. So twinkle your toes, wiggle your fingers, 5-pointed star. Reaching, 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 and then bringing the arms down to the sides. Beautiful. Knees come back into the chest, turning to your left side, your right side. Fetal asana, sleeping baby pose. So taking a moment in your sleeping baby, just thinking about a positive intention. I want these hips to start opening up. I want more flexibility. I just want to be present on my mat. You guys, you know, I didn't make yoga serious. This should be fun. This is our play as adults. So I'm just here for the relaxation of it all. So positive intention makes what we do more important, adds a ritual to it, makes it feel like something more significant. And then using your upper arm to push yourself up, taking an easy seat at the front of your mat. Shoulders stacked over hips, neck is long. Think of a long giraffe neck, and we'll sweep the arms up high to the sky. Inhaling up, pull down. Pull way down. Sweeping up again. Inhale up, exhale down. Squeeze. Last time, inhale up, exhale down. Beauteous. And then I'm going to inhale my arms back up again. And then I'm just going to pick the cherries, opening up the side body, meridian lines for the liver on the side body, actually. So my Qigong education coming out. You're welcome. I'm teasing you guys. Reaching up, one arm at a time, thinking about what's happening in the body. The whole side body is stretching from your hip all the way to your fingertips, and your spine is moving. Spinal flexion, so we're turning the spine. So let's take both arms up high to the sky, pressing the palms to the sky, and I'm just going to bend my right elbow and just use gravity on my right elbow to pull my left arm over. Shoulder is down and back. Maybe you squeeze that invisible pencil between your shoulder blades back there. Inhale up, exhale over to the other side, and do the same thing. Let your left arm be the gravity. Your right arm is kind of like the strap. So if you don't have a strap at home, you can use an old tie, an old necktie. You can again, and exhale forward, rounding forward, coming into cat yet again, pushing your palms away. So opening the shoulder blades, pushing, pushing, pushing away. We'll inhale into cow. Look up, open the throat. Exhale into cat, round forward. 2 more times. Inhaling, open. Yeah. Exhale, closed. Thinking about the back of your spine in cat, and in cow, think about the front of your spine. Inhale, open. Last time. Exhale, closed. And then we'll flip the palms and we'll just bring the hands closer, sitting up nice and tall. Nice. Hands are on knees. If you were left over right, let's just switch sides. You can always do half lotus. You can do full lotus. It all depends on how much room is in the hips. So we're coming back to the hips again, right? We're going to do a forward fold from our easy seated position. So I'm going to inhale up and exhale forward, hinging at the hip crease. I'm just hinging here, keeping my back straight. I'm just going to plant my hands down wherever they go. So I'm reaching here, feeling it a little bit in my butt cheeks and my hamstrings, my glutes, and I'm just going to walk my hands out a little bit further. So you're not going to do more than your body is allowing you to. There's no competition in yoga, including with yourself. That's not what the practice is based on. You can do that, in your HIIT training and shred and all that kind of stuff, but we're not doing that here. This is different. So the gaze is long, the neck is in alignment with the rest of the spine. We're breathing in through the nose, maybe out through the mouth, and then we'll do some more spinal flexion by walking the hands over to your left side. And the long line here is from my right arm all the way down to my right hip. So feeling that in the low back maybe. Both hips are squarely on the mat. The face stays soft, and then we'll walk back to the midline and then over to the other side. Same thing on this side. Great chance for you to see the differences between the two sides of your body, right? Your right side, that's your yang side, that's your doer side compared to your left side. All the surgeries I have ever had are on my right side. Too much doing. So bodies talk. They talk in pain, they talk in pleasure, they talk in thirst and hunger. Then we'll walk the hands back to the center and come all the way back up again. We'll just kind of sit up a little bit taller now that we stretched out. We created more room in the body, okay? So good thing to be doing. So hands together, hands at heart center, thumbs can lock into the heartbeat and you can kind of feel it, hear it. And we're going to do dragon stretching its tail. So I'm going to press both hands together to the right as I look to the left. And I'm pushing my left hand into my right hand. So there's lots of tension in my arms, coming back to center and then switching sides. So dragon stretching its tail. So push away. So my shoulders are down, my neck is long, and I'm loosening up the shoulders and the neck. A couple more times on each side. Great way to stretch out the neck and the shoulders. And then back to center. Really, really nice. We're going to do a little bit of shaking from our seated position. So slightly bent at the elbow, well, totally bent at the elbows, loose wrists, and just shaking. So just shaking and loosening up here. You can do a full body shake standing, but we're just doing shake, 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 palms facing you, then shake, 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 palms facing away, loosening up the wrists, shaking out the tension, loosen up at the neck, loosen up at the throat, and then relaxing your hands on your knees. Feel some heat, feel some buzzing, feel some maybe tingles, good energy, good chi, QI, chi, or prana as we say in yoga. Good energy as we say in general, good energy. So sitting up nice and tall, seated Tadasana pose. We're just gonna go inward. We're gonna find out where the breath went. We're gonna take 3 deep breaths in and out through the nose here. elongating your breath one little count extra each time. So second breath, really deep breath in through the nose. Out through the nose. Last time. Beautiful. We're going to come to our downward facing dog position. So let's come to the mat, flipping the knees, and remember you can use as much padding as you like. I got to tell you something, I really like this teaching outside. The earth is soft enough right now. Winter is behind us in Minnesota, and it feels really nice on my knees. So if you're on a hard surface in your house, obviously, use whatever you need for padding, okay? Flipping the toes under, hands shoulder distance apart. Shoulders are back and down. My heart wants to lead. I'm going to flip my toes under and lift the hips up high to the sky. Gaze between the feet, continuing to lift up high, relaxing the shoulder blades, stitching them down the back. And you can pedal out your dog a little bit. Right foot, left foot. You can come up on your tippy. That was my feet cracking, you guys. Yes, it was. Sink back down, whatever you like. So your feet, your heels may never reach the back of your mat. Who cares? Nobody. Let's inhale, right leg up high to the sky, and I'm going to kick my right heel into my left butt cheek so I can stack my right hip over my left hip. This is making a hip opener right here in my down dog. We're pressing into our fingertips. We are not dumping into the palms. So shifting your weight to your fingertips and your knuckles. And just allowing this hip to open up. Maybe do a few little circles up here. Circles starting at the hip. Tight butt cheeks here. Open hip. You can lift your knee a little higher maybe. And then just take a break. Bring that leg down. Shake that out. Do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to model on the other side. So now we're taking our left leg up high to the sky. Inhale up, and then exhale, kicking that heel into the right butt cheek. Noticing how this side feels. If you have any issues with your low back, with your hips, one side is tight, it's going to feel tighter. You're not going to be able to open up as much. So everybody's sides are different. We're breathing here, still extending up, lifting up a little bit taller with that knee. And maybe take some circles up here. Exhale through the mouth. Exhale through the mouth on exertion. That's the dealio for that. Let's square that hip. Bring that leg down. And then we'll just sit down. I'm going to sit back on my heels. So you might want to do that. You might not. You might just sit in regular crisscross applesauce legs. I'm sitting on my heels for the moment. You can sit on your toes. So you can do a toe stand here, sitting on your toes if you like. So taking a moment here, taking a breath however you like, just coming back. After we flipped, the tailbone instead of to the earth was to the sky, and the crown of the head was to the earth. So down dog is actually an inversion. Heart above head, inversion pose. So I'm doing a toe stretch here, trying not really to think about it that much, because it's not one of those good yoga feelings, those yummy yoga feelings, but it's good for you. I'm going to focus on something else. I'm going to inhale up, lift up out of the low back, reach up long like I'm stretching, trying to hold on to something up here. I'm going to take my hands together and I'm just going to lift up, coming into thunderbolt. So steeple grip, shoulders are down even though arms are up. Thunderbolt, lots of strength in this pose, and then relax. Okay, so a little bit more with the hips, a little bit more with the hip opening. So I'm going to take my left foot forward, framing my left leg, taking my right leg out long, coming into my low runner's lunge. And what this is doing is really helping my hip flexor on my right hip. And so our hip flexors are part of what keeps things tight. So now you can rotate forward on the ball of your back foot a little bit. So feeling that stretch, the kneecap is pulled up. Your shoulders and hips are in alignment with each other. And just feel this stretch for a while. You can drop the knee, flatten the foot, or keep the toes tucked under, and we'll just release the hands, lifting up. Shoulders come over hips. You can inhale up here. You're reaching up nice and long. Feeling a lot going on in that leg. Feeling that hip flexor. Exhale down with that. Then you can come forward again with the leg bent. And just feel that hip flexor. Lean into your left leg as that hip flexor continues. Maybe you knock a little bit on there. Maybe you lift out of your spine. So instead of sinking in your hips, you're lifting out of it. If you want to try something more, you can take your right leg up and hold on to the back of that leg, feeling more of a stretch in the front. I wouldn't call that gentle yoga, but you can do it. And then let's just release. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So, right leg comes out, left leg goes back, bending the right knee. Wait, am I on the other side? Right leg up. Yeah, right leg comes out. Sorry, you guys. Left leg comes out long. Low lunge here. I'm feeling it on the left hip. Feeling it a lot. The left hip flexor's getting it good. Just letting it be what it is. And then I'm just going to plant that knee down, flat foot, tucked under, and just release the hands, inhaling up. And just feeling it here. You can pull down at the sides. You can hold on, do sun pose. Just feel your thigh, feel your hip flexor. Kind of gently lean into it. Now if this hurts, just do a little tapping, a little rubbing on there. A lot of intensity. There's a lot going on back here. Breathing out through the mouth. Whoa. And then we'll come down a little more. And again, if you want to reach back with your left hand to your left foot and hold on back there, you can do that. If you want to just release that, bringing both knees behind, widen your knees, so more than hip distance apart, big toe mounds together, and just guide your hips back to come to your balasana, child's pose. So we're opening up the hips nice and wide, extending through the spine. Just give your hips a break. So child's pose, balasana pose is always good. Whenever you want a yoga break, you just go into child's pose. Stack your fists, rest your forehead on your fists, a block, stack of blocks, whatever feels good to you. The gaze is inward, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. The gaze is inward. Whatever your positive intention for your practice was, you can just revisit it now. Connect with the breath. And then we'll come back out of that pose. And then we'll come all the way back up. Standing on our knees here for a moment. I'm going to split things up a little bit. So just notice knees are hip distance apart, shoulders stacked over hips, nice long spine. So just notice how your body feels, if you feel like you've been opening up or not. Hopefully you do feel that way. And then we'll take a nice inhale here and pull down, exhale down, squeeze the arms, sweep up again, inhale up, hands together, exhale down the front. And then last time, inhale open, squeeze the shoulder blades, exhale closed. Nice. And I'm going to take my left foot out long, straight out from my left hip. Toes are facing forward, and I'm going to pretend I'm pushing the knife edge of my left foot into a wall. I'm pushing, pushing, pushing. So this leg is super strong. I'm pulling up my kneecap, my thighs are tight, and I'm going to inhale my right arm up and exhale it over. So more spinal flexion from here, more opening up the intercostal muscles, the muscles between the ribs, stretching them, opening up the ribs, lengthening the space from the waist to the fingertips. Inhale back to center, arm comes down, leg comes back, switch sides. So this is called gate pose. It doesn't look like a gate to me at all, but who asked me, right? Nobody. So again, pulling up the kneecap. This leg is in Tadasana pose. It is strong. So the kneecap is pulled up, the leg is strong, butt cheeks are tight, and then inhaling the left arm up and then over. So more spinal flexion, more stretching, more breathing. If we don't incorporate the breath or marry the breath, unite the breath with the pose, then it's really just stretching. It's really not quite yoga. So uniting the breath as the bridge between your body and your mind, the pose, inhale back to center. Really nice. Okay, I'm going to sweep my legs in front. Legs are long, toes are up. And so my shoulders are back. I'm sitting in what's called staff pose. So shoulders are back and down. And I'm going to take a forward fold from here, and then we're going to do some butterfly legs. So I'm going to inhale up, long spine, hinge forward at the hip crease, lead with the heart, reaching out towards my feet. Maybe you touch your feet, maybe you touch your shins. Nobody cares, it is what it is, but open up the backs of the legs, gazing down at your kneecaps, keeping your neck long, no forcing. If you're forcing, you're not practicing your yoga. You're forcing. So we don't want to do that, just respect the bod. Some nice long breaths. Release that, coming back up. And I'm going to take a butterfly leg with my right leg. So I'm going to reach my right leg out, or reach my right, opening up my hip. Remember, this is a hip opener thing. So I'm opening up my hip. So maybe your foot comes to the inside of your left thigh. Maybe it comes to the inside of your calf. We don't want to plant it on the knee, on the joint, because that could overload the joint, and then we won't be happy. So wherever it goes is where it goes. Okay, I have super flexible hips. I was born this way. I can do splits and straddles. I'll do them for you later, party trick. So who cares? Nobody. But we want to get as much flexibility in there as we can. So wherever it is what it is. So maybe right here, right now, is all the hip opening you really want to deal with. Okay, maybe this is making you shake and shiver. If you want more, take a nice inhale here. Exhale, hinging forward at the hip crease, reaching out long with the back, folding over your straight leg, and allowing that hip to continue to open up. So the knee is pressing down. And just feel what's getting involved. So for me, the L5, lumbar 5 on my right side is the pain point. And so I can feel this practically up to my tonsils right now. Okay, I can feel it down the back of my thigh. I can feel it down the front of my leg. I can feel it on the front of my hip. I can practically feel it in my ribs in the front. That's how connected all this stuff is. So we're gonna release that coming up. Whoa. And I'm just gonna take that right leg and just kind of hold it up. Okay, you can hold it up by your toes if you want. You can hold it up by the base of your foot. You can just hold it up by the base of your leg. We're just gonna hold that leg up. You can circle the ankle if you're not holding that. Shoulders are back and down, back is straight. We're just holding up the leg. And then we'll release that leg down. And just sit back, scoot your butt cheeks back, reestablish your position of strength. And before we play around with the other side, just notice the two sides. Notice the hips, Notice the butt cheeks. Notice how your right leg probably feels longer than your left leg right now. So that's what stretching does, stretching in the yoga fashion. So same thing. We're going to bend the left knee. We're going to open up the left hip. We're going to keep our body in alignment. And we're going to plant the foot wherever it goes naturally. So if it goes like this naturally, but if you say, geez, Karen, if I'm here, it's like this, that's not what we're talking about. So do you, what works for you, respect where you're at. And so allowing this hip to open up, you could stay here for several breaths if you wanted to, or you could deepen this stretch, opening up the hip by inhaling up, exhaling forward. We're reaching out with the long back, landing wherever you may, gazing down at your foot or at your knee of your right leg, and just continuing to allow the left hip to open up. So you know what? A typical yoga practice in any class would include forward folds. That's what this is. Back bends, twists, inversion, heart above the head, balancing pose, a centering pose. So we would do that in pretty much all the classes. But if you said, geez, I really need more of X, like hip opening, you'd focus a lot more on that. But there's lots of ways to do it. Okay, let's release that. Notice how you are, and then same thing here. There's leaves back here. We'll just lift the foot, lift the leg. So in the back of the thigh, back of the calf, holding on to the foot if you like, keeping the shoulders back and down, whatever works for you. This is a heavy leg, right? Heavier than it appears. Just lifting that leg. You can rotate your ankle around if you like. Let's just bring that leg back. And we're going to come into some kind of a straddle. So you decide how much or how little. It's really how much room is in there. So let it be what it is. Coming into a straddle, big or small, your choice, and just allow the inner thigh or the groin muscles, the inner thighs, to start doing their stretching for you. We're going to inhale both arms up and go over to the left, dropping the left arm down, reaching the right arm over. Lengthening through the side body yet again as we open up at the hips. You might gaze at the sky, back down to the inside of your elbow. Any of this stuff to release tension in your neck. Inhale up. Let's wide salute to the sun. And then over to the right, dropping the right arm, reaching the left arm over. Same thing. Up and down if you like.